So here's the factory exhaust out of the 2020 Subaru STI Limited. You can see the resonator and the inline pipe there. I believe this is just over 2¼ or around 2¼ on the main pipe here. The Y pipe obviously has some pretty significant restrictions. And then, of course, these mufflers actually had a pretty good sound to them. Very, very quiet, but a real nice deep tone. You can see the amount of volume that there's in these mufflers here. And then over here, we have the Extreme Turbo Systems, ETS for short. They're 3-inch catback exhaust with mufflers, but no resonators. This should be a fairly loud, but it's not there. This is the ETS Extreme exhaust, but with mufflers. So if we want to quiet it down once we go with a bigger turbo like an FP Blue or an FP Black, we'll add some resonators to this. But this is a 3-inch all the way through. Really nice design here. Top-notch quality. Definitely not disappointed in the quality. Uses V-band clamps on a lot of these mounts here. Really a nice setup. So you can do this at home pretty quickly. And then this is where you mount to your downpipe. We won't be replacing the downpipe in this car just yet. The fuel injectors with the stock map and everything are running at an 85% duty cycle on wide open throttle. So we're going to have to upgrade the fuel pump and the fuel system, the fuel rails, TGV, well, some pencil holders, and kind of go a little bit bigger before we can upgrade on the downpipe on this. But this should open it up, make it sound pretty good. I'll get this thrown in here tonight. We'll fire it up, let it get nice and hot while it's on jack stands, and then go back through, make sure all the V-band clamps and bolts are tight, and take it for a spin after dinner this evening. Okay, so just got the new exhaust on here. I've never used the V-band clamps before. It doesn't look like they're supposed to close all the way. ETS said just hit them with an impact gun, so that's what I did. And then I went over them with a 3/8 breaker bar just to make sure they're pretty snug. They're not overly tight, so we'll see. These just seal with heat, so I'm unsure if they start out with maybe a little bit of an exhaust leak. But here we go. Here's a first cold start after putting on the new ETS Extreme exhaust with mufflers. Sound pretty good. I don't hear any popping and clicking like you normally would hear, or tick 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 with an exhaust leak. They sound pretty tight. We're gonna let the car warm up all the way, see if we get it up to operating temperature. I'm gonna slide back under the car, just double check those V clamps and the exhaust bolts where it meets the factory downpipe. Make sure that all the bolts, all the hardware is still tight, the gaskets all look good. The V-band clamps don't use gaskets. They just seal with heat, which is pretty interesting. I've not worked with those before. So once once we get the car checked out underneath after it's hot, we'll take it down off the jack stands and take it for a spin. Okay, so the car has warmed up to normal operating temperature. We've dropped down to our base idle here. Sounds really good, at least in my opinion. It's not too loud. It's got a real nice tone to it. And like I said, with a bigger turbo, if it's too loud, we can always throw the resonators on. But it's got a real nice deep tone. So I'm going to see if I can get this to focus underneath the car and kind of show you what it looks like a little bit. So of course, here's our quad tips. I went with the polished tips. I'm not a real big fan of the titanium ones, maybe on a white car, but there's your V-band clamps, 3-inch Y pipe. There you can see more of the live pipe, all the way up, no resonator, and we're running the factory downpipe, so you do have a little reducer plate up in there where it meets the factory downpipe. But overall, very nice fit. Alright, so now we're on the road. We've got the ETS Extreme exhaust with mufflers on it, and we're just going to go down and get some gas. These sound really nice. Nice deep tone, but not too loud.